Melanie Marie Boyer, the Executive Director of the Pittsburgh Metropolitan Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for tuning in to our Latino Pittsburgh Digital Speaker Series sponsored by Coca-Cola. Today, we're going to be speaking with the inaugural CEO of the Midland Innovation and Technology Center Charter School. We are so excited to welcome Chet. Hi, Chet.
Good morning, Melanie. How are you?
Good morning, Chet. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. I know you've been a long-time member of the Chamber. We did your own speaker series, but today we're here to talk to you about something new.
Yes, indeed. It's an exciting new role. I'm very humbled and honored and privileged to serve as the inaugural CEO for the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School located here in Midland, Pennsylvania, Beaver County. And the school is really comes in response to the growing trend and need for young people to have the necessary skill sets to participate in the manufacturing skill trades, traditional skill trades, equally some of the high-tech career tech skills that many companies are going to have a need for today and for the foreseeable future. So we're really excited to be a part of that. And I'm looking forward to working with many of the students, parents, and families throughout the Pittsburgh region to make this opportunity affordable to many young people.
Well, we are so excited about it. Tell us a little bit about what makes your school different from other schools that are more traditional.
Absolutely. I think it's in the word Midland Innovation plus Technology and Technology Charter School. Innovation, when you think about the fact that over the last several years, so many young people have fallen between the cracks, and that's a fact. They get a high school diploma. In some cases, they may or may not go on to college. They incur large student loan debt. In some cases, they don't finish college. But what's really the problem is they're not able to really, get involved in so many of the job opportunities that are available throughout Western Pennsylvania. And as a result, what makes our school so unique is we're here in response to that growing need. So our school is made up of 4 academies. And what makes it so unique is that we're going to not only provide the students with, the basic arithmetic, reading, writing, we call it the 3 R's. And that's like most kids, they're going to get that at all high schools throughout America. But more than that, we're going to provide young people with the hands-on skills that's necessary for them not only to get the fundamental and conceptual training in the classroom, but we have laboratories where students can actually engage in purposeful play as well as just hands-on training through skilled industry experts, carpenters, plumbers, welders, where they can actually get those real world skills that's going to make them job ready upon graduating from high school. So imagine you graduate, you can get your CDL, you're 18 years old, you have a high school diploma in hand, you might decide I don't want to go to college right away, but guess what? I have an offer with a trucking company, logistics company, and I'm making $60,000, $70,000 a year just coming out of high school. Or in some cases, we have students that may go through the aviation science path. We have the unmanned drone, where they can learn to fly drones. And drones, as you know, they're used in everything from criminal investigation to many industry segments are using drones. For example, cell towers, they need drones to get up high to manage and maintain the cell phone towers and things of that nature. So imagine having the skill sets to where you can be gainfully employed at a company, making a good living for you and your family. And more importantly, rather than having our young people leave the area, the region, we get to keep them here and they can contribute to the tax base. And that's going to be good for everyone.
You know what, Chet? I love that. And I want to point out that this isn't just for students who don't think that they want to go to college. If you go into college with these skills, you're ahead of the curve. Everything is going in the way of innovation and technology. So by going and what Chet just described, I don't want people to think, oh, well, if my child wants to go into a trade or that that type of technology, that this would be perfect. And if not, then not. I think that this puts them way ahead of the curve, number one. And number two, how many employers are out there, especially technology companies, that are offering to pay for education? So you can be making money, having your education paid for, and being way ahead of the curve. Chet, why don't you tell us a little bit on your view on that?
You hit it on the nail, Melanie. I mean, and I've said this many times. I mean, we have to change the narrative. I think too often we think that when you think about the traditional trades, we think of, oh, it's dirty industry. It's not as glamorous as being a lawyer or a doctor. Well, that's a misnomer, because we know that people that are in the trades, electricians, plumbers, they do very well. They have access to being in the middle class or even higher earners. I mean, they are business owners, and they participate, quite frankly, just as effectively as doctors, lawyers, and others, and contribute to our economy locally, regionally, and nationally. So I think we have to change the narrative, and we have to make sure that young people are given as much information as possible so they can make informed decisions. Because guess what? This is about the rest of your life. This is not just, okay, something temporary. You're actually building a future for yourself, your community, and that's what's important. So I think it's important that young people are afforded the opportunity and the skills that they need that's going to really change their overall life outcomes. And that's what Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School is really positioned to do. And it's going to really help to not only, improve their lives, but it's going to also help to improve the region, the community, everyone around us. And that's what's important.
I love what you said about students having information and having correct and relevant information to today. You threw out a few numbers there of what students can make coming out with these skills. I have a friend who received her master's degree, has full-time work experience, and took a job making $40,000 a year and felt lucky because there were jobs that were 30 and 35. And that's the world we're living in. If you don't know technology, if you're not in the innovation, network atmosphere world, we're going into all these other jobs, and even people with those high degrees are making way less than that. So I think that students actually expect the opposite. So having correct and relevant and up-to-date information, especially in today's society, is so important. So I love that you brought all of that up. I want to talk a little bit about your mission. By offering authentic hands-on learning opportunities to a diverse population of students, MITCS will serve as a generator of innovative thinking, deep learning, and collaborative engagement to build better futures. Right. I love that. If you want to expand, especially on the hands-on learning part, I would love to hear it.
Absolutely, Melanie. So as I mentioned before, so again, they're going to learn arithmetic, reading, writing. You have to have those core skills to succeed in life, regardless of what you do. But more importantly, we're going to have students engaged in real world, hands-on learning with real world mentors, industry skilled experts. So for example, we have carpentry, plumbing, heating, air conditioning, refrigeration. Students will work closely with these skilled experts to learn before they actually put a welder in their hand. They'll learn conceptually what is welding, and they can use it, using virtual tools in terms of how welding works. And then they get that purposeful, real hands-on learning throughout the course of each day. Not many schools offer that. And what's really nice is we're a full day career tech, high tech school. So unlike the, VOTEC, where students will go to their home district school and then, maybe spend the next half of the day here, they're there for the whole day. So it also, improves their socialization skills. It doesn't interrupt their day. So students are actually engaged with other students, teachers, industry experts, and they're getting those hands-on skills that's going to make them job ready when they graduate. And that's huge. That's a big advantage when you're 18 years old, in some cases 17, compared to some adults who are in their mid to late 20s thinking, okay, I want to learn a trade. But imagine you're 17 or 18, you have an advanced standing in a carpenter's union. And that's not a very easy thing to do. we have those relationships already built in as part of our curriculum. And that's what separates us from our competitors.
That is exactly leading to the next question I wanted to ask you. I know that you've really been working on these partnerships and building up so that you can get students right into that pipeline. I would
Exactly.
like for you to talk a little bit, not just about what that pipeline is, but again, why that was so important to you.
That's important because I think what we need are mentors, apprenticeships. So we have a relationship with the Northeast Carpenters Union. What we have is a situation where young people, and I believe in apprenticeships, where you have mentors that are skilled experts that are going to, create these key touch points when they start at our school and throughout the course of their study. Upon graduating, these individuals can guide and provide the necessary guidance and oversight to make sure that many of our students are going in the right path. So they're not only learning the concepts from the book, but they're actually able to engage real world experts. They can, go to these companies during the course of their study and meet, business owners and others in the industry. And that's going to put them, in my opinion, a cut above most of their peers that are going through the traditional brick and mortar school. And it's not bashing the other schools. I think, as we said earlier, this is being innovative, and this is in response to the growing need that we see not only in our region, but nationally. Let me just add a quick point. If you look at just the data over the next 10 years, there's going to be over 4.5 million jobs alone in the manufacturing skill trades, of which there's going to be a 2.5 million person skills gap. Imagine that. So there's all these jobs that will go unfilled. School like the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School is positioned to fill that gap and provide opportunities for young people to secure these really good paying jobs earlier than later. And that's what's significant.
Oh, Chet, that is so amazing. And and hearing the numbers for that skill gap, I think it's really obvious, if it wasn't already obvious, that this is
Exactly.
so needed.
Exactly. And this is based on data from the Allegheny Conference 2017-2018 study, Deloitte and Touche Consulting Group, as well as the Manufacturing Association of America. So this is substantive data. It's real world data, and many corporations, small and large, are really looking for people to fill their daily work needs. And if we don't have anyone to fill these needs, then what? So we have to create avenues to enable young people, to empower them to secure these jobs.
And anyone who's hiring knows what a challenge that is without these different skill sets. Companies are paying for, a, a long amount of time for some of these different things to get people the licenses, the training, etc. So they're paying them, they're paying for the trainings. Meanwhile, I think we've found a great solution here that can really give students a leg up and also help companies build those pipelines in a much easier way. So
And you hit
tell us
it on the nail. Build a pipeline, and we want to build a pipeline, and that's what's important.
exactly. But we always talk about that it's so important to get in with students early, especially with the way technology is going. But I love that you guys have built your own facility. Tell us a little bit about the design, what brought you to that, and what makes it unique.
Well, what makes it unique is the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School is located in Midland, Pennsylvania, Beaver County, which, as everyone knows, that this area was the epicenter for steel. I mean, it was, we grew from heavy, dirty steel making. And, there was a time when people say the sky was gray. Well, now when you look at, for example, the shell plant that's not far from our school, it's a modern facility and it's very clean technology, but it requires not just a strong will and a strong back, but it requires individuals with, high tech skill sets to actually run and manage these new modern day plants, if you will. And so to that end, what makes it so exciting is that this school is going to allow young people to do so. Again, the school was actually donated. The land that the school building is sitting on is actually donated by Mr. Charles J. Betters. And the school is actually named after Mr. Betters. And it's an industrial looking architecturally designed because it's in keeping with the industry, the industry symbol of Midland, Pennsylvania. And that's what makes it so important. And when you do come tonight, you will see what makes the school so unique in terms of its sort of industrial steel, look with a very modern touch. And that's what makes it so unique. Students will be able to engage, again, as I said, traditional teachers, math, English teachers, and so forth, while they're also engaging industry skilled experts in a very modern day facility with high tech, infrastructure and things of that nature. But yet it's in a very sort of that old mill, but yet very modern building. And that's what makes it a great marriage. And it'll be an awesome environment for young people to learn, at the same time, appreciate the history of Midland, Pennsylvania and its history. And more importantly, its contribution to this country in terms of steel making.
I love that you bring the history into it and the look of the building and the feel of the building and adding that modern in. I think it really creates a wonderful environment for especially the type of curriculum that you guys are doing.
Exactly.
So I know that you guys take a balanced and holistic approach to your curriculum. Why don't you give us a little bit of a description of how you developed it, why, and how that's going to benefit students?
Absolutely. So we developed it based on the need, as we said, the growing need, based on the data, as we mentioned. One of the things that we want to make a note of is we have 4 collaborative academies. We have the Transportation and Logistics Academy, the Forensic Science and Justice Academy, the Community Development and Sustainability Academy, and the Skilled Trades and Technical Careers Academy. As I mentioned, students can take a host of courses in each of these respective academies, but as they mature, as they evolve, 9th through 12th grade, as they get into the higher grades, that's where they're going to really get into, if you will, the core fundamentals and core curriculum that they need to have the skill sets that when they do graduate, they have the licenses, the certificates, and all of the different training that they need that they can show an employer when they graduate. Because kids are, young people are not just going to graduate with high school diploma. They can actually graduate with certificates, licenses, and things of that nature. That's going to really speak to their knowledge of the subject matter. And that's what makes, again, the curriculum so unique, because it's going to afford them real life skills with certificates, licenses, and things of that nature. And that's what's really important.
I love that on your website, you bring up even getting the students' resumes ready. I know so many college students, even graduate school students, who have never been actually shown how to make a resume, how to do a job interview, and all these things. And I think that is a major gap that you guys are filling.
Yes. And it's funny you ask, because while at RMU and Community College of Beaver County, I taught first year seminar, I taught communication skills. Most students are decent writers, but many students didn't know how to even, develop a resume, didn't have a resume, didn't know how to interview. So one of the things that we built in our curriculum, and it's part of the very first day of their class from 8:30 to 9, give and take the time period, we have what we call home base. That's where we actually engage students and we teach them those core lifelong skills, adulting skills, as we call it. Learning how to write a check, balancing a checkbook, cultural competency skills, learning how to work in a team, learning how to work with people that don't necessarily look like you, agree with you. Those are key lifelong skills that, regardless of your skill sets, that's going to keep you gainfully employed, but more importantly, will provide you with an upward trajectory. Because too often, young people, they go to college, but if they don't understand how to, write, craft a letter, an email, communicate, orally, verbally, body language, that could be a detriment. So what we want to do is start early as 14 or 15 years old, where essentially we're grooming young people, while at the same time, we're providing them with these skill sets that's going to be meaningful and purposeful. And again, as I said, options. Students can graduate with a certified Pennsylvania high school diploma. They can go on to a 2-year, 4-year college or university, or they may end up working for, the union, carpenters union, in a manufacturing company. They have options. And more importantly, as we talked earlier, they get to minimize whatever debt they incur if they decide to go to college, because they can earn college credits while they're actually navigating through our school. And so it's a win-win situation for all students and their families.
I absolutely love that. I love everything that you guys stand for. I think this is the direction that education needs to go in general. So thank you for everything that you've been working on. Before we wrap up, I would like to talk to you a little bit about diversity. I know that diversity is very important to the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School, and I would like to hear a little bit about why and what you're doing to increase diversity in your student base.
Absolutely. Well, think about it, Melanie. Diversity is pivotal. And diversity of thought, diversity in terms of ethnic background, diversity in terms of religious affiliation, gender, it doesn't matter. We live in a world that's very dynamic and it's ever changing. And people have to understand and be sensitive to the growing needs of companies in terms of how people have to work together. I often say to people, it takes a team, it takes a village, right? Teamwork makes the dream work. So when you groom young people and then in a diverse environment, and they learn earlier that it's all about working together towards a common goal, that is what diversity is all about. And it's making every effort to not only speak the language, but actually live it each and every day. It starts with me as the CEO of the Midland Innovation and Technology Charter School, working with everyone, being sensitive to everyone's needs, working as a team, taking into account everyone's input, because no one person makes anything work or succeed. It takes everyone working together in a collective manner, in a diverse setting of people, thought, ideas that can contribute to the overall well-being of not only the institution, but equally to employers, to their community. And that's what this diversity is all about. This school is built on diversity. It's important. It's important to me. It's important to the board, and it's important to the Midland community, Beaver County, and the region at large.
I always say that talent is spread equally, but opportunity is not. So I very much appreciate the work that you guys are doing to level the playing field.
It's all about leveling the playing field, providing opportunities for young people, not just for today, but for succeeding generations to come.
Oh, if you knew how much I use that line, that's something we have very much in common, because it's not about now. It's about our children, our children's children. It's about society in general, to make sure we're going on a sustainable path for all.
Exactly. Otherwise, we're failing our kids.
Mm-hmm. Well, and the world, even those who don't have kids, society just in general.
Right. Exactly.
Well, thank you so much for being here. We very much appreciate being able to learn a little more about the school. For those of you who didn't see it, we did do a speaker series on Chet in 2020 when we started the speaker series, and it was fascinating. You can hear about his Latino background, how he grew up, and how he got to where he is now. We hear a little bit about his education and his career background. He is a fascinating and wonderful individual that we are definitely blessed to have a part of our organization, as well as a friend. So thank you for being a part of everything, Chet.
And thank you, Melanie. Thank you for this tremendous opportunity. And I thank everyone listening to me and the audience. And again, it's going to take all of us to make this thing work. And that's what this is all about. It's a collective effort. And I really appreciate it.
Juntos, right? Always juntos.
Absolutely. And pura vida.
Thank you, Chet. Bye.
Yes.
And thank you for tuning in to our digital speaker series. It happens every Wednesday at noon on our Facebook, YouTube, and my LinkedIn page. The Latino Pittsburgh Digital Speaker Series is an initiative of the Pittsburgh Metropolitan Area Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. Its goals are to share relevant information, inspire growth, and foster opportunity. Speakers and workshops include community leaders and members, as well as other individuals and programs that have a positive impact on the Hispanic community and the region at large. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Bye.